It's still spinning. Welcome to the Fanatical Elfz Show, part of the Elfz Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Hello, it's a Thursday! It's the Fanatical Elfz Show. I'm Johnny Cleveland. There's Steve Bill down below. There's Sam the Man from Texas. We are part of the Fanatical Elfz Network, part of Fans First Sports. It's a beautiful June 5th, Thursday night. It is summertime. Thank you for joining us here. We, you all hear me out there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Might turn your volume up a little
Hello. Okay, I'm on. I know I'm just trying to make lots of noise and ruckus. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the 13 people that have already tuned into us here on the X, on Facebook. We appreciate you watching us here on YouTube. You can also, what we really want you to do is go subscribe to us on Apple, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, anywhere that you listen to your podcast. Tune us in, subscribe to us, follow us, and then whenever a show comes on, bam, it pops up on your phone, your computer, and you'll never miss a beat. You got Steve here with his Dog Pound South show, Sam with his Browns breakdowns, and a multitude of other shows. So tune in to all of us every week. We got a great group of guys and ladies, and we're doing some good things here. We're in we just finished up year 2. We've been at this, and our audio downloads are up. I mentioned this last week on our show. So, and they continue to rise. We really appreciate that. Spread the love for our brownies, Brown Nation. Have enjoyed listening to some other podcasts and some other networks, and appreciate their shout outs on occasion. So we hope that all of us together collectively can build this platform. And so Browns fans, you'll never miss anything, because we're Browns fans like you, right, Steve? Sam?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're Browns
Steve.
fans just like you.
Steve was just showing, Steve was the former president of one of the Browns backers clubs down in Nashville, Tennessee, where he currently lives. And Steve's going to show you, if you're watching us right now.
There I am.
Look at that youngster.
Decades ago with my beard, my gray beard.
Look at
my
that.
lovely bride, Karen.
That lovely bride. Karen, right? Karen?
That is correct.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We were much younger.
Yes. Well, I was saying on before we joined the programming here that I want a new pair of legs. I've been trying really hard to work on my physique and losing a few pounds here and there because of my old age. And I tore a meniscus last year, or tear in it, and I've been trying to work through it. But man, my God, as you get older, it's hard to. But Steve, you give me hope and energy, and when I see that you're going to be having a birthday coming up and you're a little bit older than me, it inspires me. So
yes, I'd say it's clean living, but I'd be lying like hell.
I know Steve says all the time, like, man, what I did back in the day, I'm surprised.
Woo! Like I said, I treated my body like an amusement park. Yet here I am.
Sam, have you never? I'm not even going to ask the question.
Don't do what I did, Sam.
Yeah, Sam, how are you today?
I'll try. Yeah.
Are you excited about growing your mullet?
Yeah, I think it'll look good.
It looks, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm getting it cut Saturday, so yeah, I'm excited to see it. I think it'll look good.
See, we have the exclusive rights to just see Sam with his head of hair without the cowboy hat. You guys there watching us live aren't allowed to see him without the hat on, but we do get a sneak peek sometimes on occasion. And Sam does have a healthy head of hair. That's how this whole conversation.
No, I'm actually bald. There's actually no hair.
That's a wig. Wow,
I wish.
That's impressive.
It would be a great wig.
Yeah, well, a mullet,
Sam stayed up to 1 o'clock.
Front, party in the back.
You're supposed to tell everyone. I hope.
Were you partying last night? What? You're up till 1 in the morning?
hope my parents aren't listening. And you're like, what the heck? You're supposed to say that.
There could be things worse, but no, that's great. So I have to ask what the weather's like down there in Dallas, because I know, and we always start a show with the weather report. I know Browns fans really care about the weather in Dallas. So tell
Yeah.
us.
Sure.
Well, it's just hot and rainy. It's been back and forth between thunderstorms and sun every single day. It just alternates.
wish.
So Monday it's thunderstorms, then Tuesday it's sun, then Wednesday
Yeah.
it's thunderstorms. So who knows? But it's going to be mid 90s for the next few days, and then it drops to like mid 80s and then goes back up as we get to July and August.
I can't believe it's like the first week in June. That whole transition from the end of May, which seems like it takes forever to get through, and then you get into June and you're like, bam, and then you're in the second week of June, and before you know it, it's the 4th of July, and then I got to go back to school again to do my job that I've been doing so well for the last 30,000 years. Sam, I want to have your life.
How did we get to this?
I don't know.
By the way, it's 7:32 here in Nashville, and it's
Yes.
about 88 degrees.
88. How are
Yeah.
have you checked the crowds, the tourists there
Oh
in
yeah,
Nashville?
CMA Fest started today. They're all downtown.
Oh,
They're going to have to work through some thunderstorms and rain tomorrow, and thunderstorms and rain on Saturday. But it wouldn't be CMA Fest without hot, humid, and rain.
yes. Okay, let's talk about the brownies, because that's what we do here on the Fanatical Elfz. We also write. I know, Steve, you're coming out with an article. If you want to,
Should be tomorrow.
Yeah,
Fans First Sports Network.
yeah.
Title is "Why Not Kenny Pickett." I mean, come on, we're picking everybody else. I mean, apparently, with one reporter, the janitor thinks that Shedeur Sanders is 100% going to be the starting quarterback. So let's go with that. I'm probably about as reliable as the maintenance crew in Berea.
My favorite time right now is talking about Mary Kay. Mary Kay is talking about how Shedeur got punished, sent away to the auxiliary field to go 7-on-7 in some sort of punishment, according to Mary Kay, or whatever her psyche is. She likes to make this story up. I don't know if you saw this, Sam, but apparently Shedeur got delegated to the other field, not the big boys field. Well, how did you? Yes. Anyways, Sam, did you see any of that part of the story?
No, but I don't think it means that much. I mean,
it doesn't.
For all we know, relegated to the other field means he's just doing different drills with different players. Like instead of doing
drills, just really
instead of doing short route run passes, he's throwing it deep now to fix something. I think it means little to nothing, and impacts basically nothing.
I want you to meet Mary Kay and tell her that.
Come on, Sam, you're ruining
I want to meet Mary Kay.
Story. Oh, there goes that one down the crapper.
It's like, Steve, you said it best. And this is, folks, you guys who are Browns fans and Cleveland fans, you are faithful to the very most. We know this about you. That's what we are all about. But, if the Cavaliers didn't screw it up this summer, they would be in the championship series right now. And all of this stuff that we're talking about with Shedeur and Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco wouldn't even matter. We wouldn't even know that this stuff was happening, but it's been magnified 1,000 times over. And it's just batty.
Who doesn't like a good quarterback competition?
Shedeur looked, everyone's analyzing film when they're not in pads, they're in their shorts and t-shirts. Shedeur makes
I will put this helmet on. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts. I'll start as the Cleveland Browns quarterback. How about it? Can I get somebody in the house leak that I'm 100% going to start? Anybody? Nope.
I saw a little clip of Shedeur. It was kind of funny talking to Joe Flacco about some dance moves. Did you see that little tidbit? He was,
that was funny.
Right. Yeah. And the idea that, people are trying to present all these things, and for God's sakes, we got 3 months, right, until anything. We've got, now the veterans are coming into town, next week?
Next week, 10th.
Yeah. The 10th.
And then they have another voluntary the week after that, which I don't completely understand.
Yeah.
And then they're off for about 6 weeks, and then they get to training camp.
So right. So they, we saw some things this week. There's a couple things I wanted to bring up, and just either one of you can talk about any of these things, but a couple things. Coach Schwartz talked about Mason Graham a little bit, and I don't know if either Steve or Sam want to talk about that, and where he is in the process and learning his position and coming out of college. It was a little interesting, my take on it, and I didn't hear the whole thing, so I'll let maybe Steve, you can talk about it a little bit more. But it sounded like he's making progress, but it's a big curve going from where he was to where he's going now. Other things that came up were DeJuan Jones being seen at left tackle and seemingly slimmed down. Talking about that, and so
he's lost 41 pounds.
Yeah, I wish I could lose 41 pounds. Man.
But he's still at 374. So last year he was over 4 bills.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
And you wonder why he couldn't stay on the field.
What were your thoughts about Jim Schwartz with Mason Graham?
Oh, he's being honest. He's not going to praise a rookie right out of the gate. I mean, in Michigan, even though he did have 2 sacks against Ohio State, in Michigan, he really wasn't required or asked to rush the quarterback. He was asked to stop the run and be disruptive along the offensive line. So, Jim Schwartz is just going to tell it like it is. I like that he poked at Myles Garrett a little bit. He kind of made a little fun of him, which was nice.
What did he say?
He was talking about his big contract, and he should, he should have a big year. And I don't doubt he will. I think he's probably going to have his best year. Myles Garrett, barring any injuries, I got to, put that up front. But I think he's going to have a good year. I think this defense, I think a lot of fans are going to question why Mason Graham isn't starting right out of the gate. But Jim Schwartz is trying to build the defensive line that the Eagles put out in the Super Bowl. And that's what he's trying to build. And I think he has the pieces finally to do it. If you add Malik Collins to this and a healthy Alex Wright and a healthy Isaiah McGuire, I'm really liking the Joe Tryon Soyinski kid. He is the guy they got from Tampa. In Tampa, he was asked to be an outside linebacker and a defensive end. They're just making him concentrate on being a pass rusher, and he's having a good time doing it. So, he's got the pieces. Everybody's healthy. He's got the pieces. And Michael Hall. I mean, he only played 8 games. So it was kind of a rough year for him, but he did show promise, and did Joanne Briggs, who came out of nowhere near the end of the season. So I'm thinking that Jim Schwartz is very, very happy right now.
Mm-hmm. Sam, you've been kind of monitoring the situation from afar, but do you like what you're seeing with the DeJuan Jones stuff, the Mason Graham, especially on that defensive side of the ball, like Steve's talking about?
I think it's important to see. Again, you have to. It's a point in the season where you can't really gauge a whole lot by how they're performing. But I think things like people gaining and losing weight depending on what they need to reach is important, as that's a thing that can improve your capabilities on the field, whether that be your durability or your endurance during a game or whatever. But I think DeJuan Jones is an interesting move. I think he's a good player. I think he's someone you can utilize. And I think having someone like that is always nice. I think moving offensive linemen around sometimes can get tricky because it is very different from guard to tackle to center.
Good point.
How it works. So there is a little bit, but I think it's very teachable. I think offensive line, I think if you're a guard and you're going into a tackle, I think it's a much easier transition than anything else. And so I think that's not a bad move. And I think Mason Graham, again, he was talented. He was we drafted him for a reason. And so I think it's I think he has some good talent. I think he's going to be good, and I hope to see some performances out of him during training camp and stuff.
Was Jim Schwartz talking about Mason Graham getting some bone or meat on the bones with him, or is that what, or was he? He said made some comment about that. Did anybody else hear that? Or like, is he?
I didn't hear that. He needs
Okay.
to. He does need to put a little
Weight on.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
And the undrafted free agent Aiden Huntington, he needs just to drop a couple pounds. By the way, did anybody see that run by Quishon?
Yes.
Did you notice number 66 chasing him down?
Oh, was that Carson? Yeah.
That is Aiden Huntington.
Aiden Huntington.
Yes, he's a undrafted rookie free agent, and he's very quick. I believe he is from Tulane.
Okay.
Don't quote me.
The Tulane Green Wave, right?
The Green Wave. Getting back to DeJuan Jones.
Yes.
If anybody watched my podcast on Sunday, I said that I am of the belief, and I've been told that Mike Bloomgren is waiting to see how DeJuan Jones is going to react to everything. And right now, even though he played starting left tackle in the OTAs, don't be surprised if Cornelius Lucas starts there.
Okay.
He is
okay.
Just as big as DeJuan Jones. I think he's 6'9".
Did DeJuan Jones primarily play at the right tackle position at Ohio State?
I think he started as a right tackle and played left tackle. I think he played mostly right. Well, when he started as a rookie, he played right tackle.
Well, I know that, but I thought there was a time where he did play left tackle. That's why I thought that this idea of him playing at the left.
He did. I think you're right. He did. Early, he played left tackle, then he went over to right tackle at the Ohio State. But he is a very good pass blocker, but not a very good run blocker. He's got to work on that.
Okay.
So, like I said, I've heard that Cornelius Lucas is going to get your first team reps when training camp because, they want to wait and see. He's been injured the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And they want to make sure the 6-week period between OTA and training camp, he stays on this, diet, this routine, this rehab that he's so far looks pretty good. Like I said, he lost 41 pounds and that's pretty damn good.
No, it's very good. Very good. Okay. Hey, let's pause here for a quick commercial break. On the return, we're going to talk a little bit more about the run game, and we're going to reminisce about some of our past favorite Browns and running backs of our past. We'll be right back. And thank you for coming back to the Fanatical Elfz show. It's a Thursday night. I've got Steve Gill here, Sam Britton from Dallas, Stevie Wonder, Stevie Gill is up there in Nashville, Tennessee, former president of the Browns backers. Now, hey, folks, you might know, many of you listen to our shows know that I was also the president of the Browns backers out there in Wichita, Kansas, Wichita, the Oz chapter. So shout out to those folks out there in Wichita. They had quite.
You get to spend your Sundays with the nicest people during football season, or as I always say it, like-minded people.
Exactly.
Don't have to agree, but you're like-minded.
Sam, that was something, and I don't know what you do, and when you watch games, but I know you live in Dallas, and I'm sure there are a multitude of Browns backers groups in the area out there in Texas. Do you ever foresee yourself going to any of those, or have you attended any of those?
We've tried. We've thought about it. But no, I totally would go. I totally would.
You should join one of the groups. That's what I think. You should become a member so that you can get.
Yeah, we can definitely look into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think you'd really appreciate even being a Browns fan. You do such a good job of podcasting. And when you go, you can say, dude, I do podcasting for the Fanatical Elfz Network. And then we can gain a whole bunch of loyal other fans who will be listening to us from Dallas, Texas. So you're going to lead the charge, Sam. You're going to lead the charge. Onward, Browns fans. Okay. So, guys, I did. So, we were watching OTAs and that run you talked about with Quinshawn Junkins. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he and Sampson and even, I don't know what Jerome Ford, what that looks like right now. What do you think that's going to look like? Are we basically saying Junkins and Sampson, or is Ford going to be in that mix somehow? Sam, what do you think when you look at this whole situation?
I mean, he's got some experience, and I always think a little bit of experience is valuable. But I think right now, I think you should give the rookies a chance, see how they perform. But I think see, I worry about his durability a little bit. I don't know if he can handle the workload of an entire NFL season.
You're talking about
Now, obviously, he won't be taking all the snaps. I don't think. I think the rookies will be getting some.
Oh, you're talking
some
about
of
Jerome
the snaps.
Ford. Okay.
Yeah, I think Jerome Ford. I don't know if his body can handle an entire NFL season.
Well, he did in
but
23. So
yeah, I still I don't. That's why I said I don't know. I mean, he might be able to. I think the rookies will share some of that workload. I don't think he's going to get the full 100%. I think the rookies will get utilized in certain situations where they are valuable and are skilled in a different part of the game than Ford in. But I think right now it's going to be just kind of let the rookies see how they perform. Let them do some stuff in like third down situations or on first downs just to see how they perform in like the preseason maybe. But I think Ford still is going to do some work for the Browns, but I don't think I think he's going to be alternated between the rookies and stuff.
Okay.
I think Judkins is
Steve?
going to be your bell cow.
Okay.
I really do. Ford will either make the team or be traded. That's why he reduced his salary. That's how it's set up. So either he makes the team or he's traded. So hopefully, I mean, I don't have any problem with Jerome Ford. I mean, if he's got a bell cow back in front of him, he's a very good complementary back. And Sampson, I mean, this kid, geez, I watched him play at UT up the road. Guy, 22 touchdowns his last year. That set a team record. My God. Both him and Judkins have a nose for the end zone. So I'm perfectly happy with their running back room right now.
Well, I don't know if this is a good transition, but I did an article or two with I've got a part 1, part 2 on the running backs of the past, fan favorites of the team, and a nose for the end zone. When you said that, what I was obviously, when we talk about old Browns running backs, and the Browns have always had a plethora of excellent running backs over the many decades. Jim Brown obviously is the leader of the pack, and he had such a nose for the end zone. Not only did he have 12,000 and some yards, but he had like 106 or 110 touchdowns on the ground just in 9 seasons, and there was 14 games in those individual seasons. Some just impressive stats up and down. But a lot of these guys, they had a knack for the end zone. So, Jim Brown was one of them. But I was just curious, Steve, you've been around. I mean, Jim was your guy, right? I mean, you grew up watching him. And what do you remember about him? Because you saw him play.
Biggest human being I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
Raul has a very great point in the comment box, and please comment if you're watching us. If you trade Ford, who's going to return kicks? Very good point, because that is one damn thing good that Jerome Ford does. He does return kicks very well, and as we all know, the special teams sucked last year, so they need any boost they can get their hands on. So that's a great point.
Speaking of another great running back of the past, and we're talking about kick returns and punt returns, the great Eric Metcalf. Eric, if you're listening to us, we love you here on the Fanatical Elfz Network.
Love to talk to you, bud.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to you and get a follow here on the Fanatical Elfz Network. I know Steve and you are buddies. But Eric Metcalf, you look at his stats. Not only was he just a great scat back, Sam, if you ever watch it, go on YouTube, Sam, and find some highlights on Eric Metcalf when you get a minute.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You talk about a kid drafted 1989 out of Texas. This kid, he was just something that the Browns
had Olympic speed.
Yes, we'd never seen anything like it here in Cleveland, and he was returning kicks. Then he started returning punts. I think he has 8 or 9 total punt and kick returns for touchdowns in his career. Just amazing stuff. So fun to watch. I had him pretty high on our list of fan favorites. What do we got here? Oh, another comment.
Yeah.
Up to yeah. Oh, yes.
Very good point. Raul Havana.
There was the game.
I like the
was
name.
it Raul?
Raul
Okay, so it was the Metcalf.
Havana.
It was the Pittsburgh. Go watch highlights. Pittsburgh Squealers against the Browns. It was like a Monday night,
Cleveland. Yeah,
like 1989, 1990, early 90s, and he had two. Sam, he had two just ginormous punt returns that were dynamite. Like it shook.
Yeah, I'm looking him up right now.
It shook the old municipal stadium, and to beat the Squealers on the national stage, and Eric Metcalf streaking down. Well, he was down the sideline, I think, on the last one he scored. So running it into the dog pound, some great stuff. So Eric Metcalf was up there. I even talked about somebody that I remember growing up, and Steve, you're a little bit older than me, but like Cleo Miller.
Cleo Miller.
1975
played for about, over here on my shrine. So yeah. I've had the opportunity to meet both Kevin Mack and Ernest Biner,
who are basically
that picture I showed with my wife in that jacket. Both their signatures are on the back of that, along with Bernie Kosar's. So
well, and in my article I wrote about I kept the two together because that's how a lot of fans think about that tandem. You think about like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt for a while, Sam. Like you got to watch Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt for years. Kevin Mack was drafted, I think, in '84. Ernest Biner in '85. No,
Kevin
Mack was in '85.
The USFL.
Yes, that's where he came from. And in '85, Sam, both of them ran for over 1,000 yards. Never seen that hardly ever in the NFL. And the Browns made it to the playoffs in '85, right? Bernie, they played the Miami Dolphins
8-8.
Yes,
they made the playoffs,
and they were up 21-3 at halftime, and they blew it. But
they had no passing game. They had two guys who ran for 1,000 yards, and once Miami got ahead, they had no way of coming back. But they had Miami on the ropes.
It was, but that was such a fun time. Now here's another guy that was on the cover of Madden back in the day. Peyton Hillis. Sam, when you get a minute, take a look at Peyton Hillis. He made the cover of Madden in like 2013 or 2014. He came from Denver in a trade, and he just lit it up, and the fans he was a bulldozer. He was a little bit like he was just bulldoze his way, right, Steve? He just had that knack.
Big back who had some breakaway speed. He played at Arkansas, I think. That's where I remember because, man, he had that one season. It was phenomenal. Got him on the cover of Madden.
Yeah, but that was it. That was all he had.
I tell you.
What does he say here? Wasn't that the game Don Rogers? Oh, Don Rogers. Yeah, he was our favorite. Trying to remember the backstory in that. Don Rogers, right? Do you remember him, Steve?
Yeah.
Played, was it linebacker? No, safety.
Safety.
Didn't he die early?
Yeah, he died of a drug overdose.
That's what happened. Yeah.
His claim to fame, I think. I can't remember. Okay. It had something to do with never mind.
No, it's all good. So there were a lot that I mentioned Leroy Kelly, who's number 2 all time. He came in. He was basically played with Jim, right? Steve, he was kind of his sidekick.
1 year. 1 year, yeah. And then, of course, Jim Brown had his falling out with Arthur B. Modell.
Yes.
And Jim Brown said, I can make more money making movies, which he could. back then,
Yes.
and Leroy Kelly took over for him, and boom, again, the Browns had a star running back.
Just some good
It's
stuff.
just
Well, and we hadn't seen that. Like, and I mentioned Nick Chubb. Obviously, he's way up there too, in my opinion.
yes,
He came in just in a time when the Browns were searching for that next back that could be the guy, and in fact, that it took that former Hugh Jackson game 3, inserted him in there for 3 carries, and 2 of them he took them for touchdowns. And it wasn't until week 7 that he started becoming.
Carlos Hyde was the
main guy.
big signing, the big trade that John Dorsey got, and Mr. Jackson, Mr. 1-31, didn't think Nick Chubb was ready, or Baker Mayfield, because Mr. Taylor was our starting quarterback.
That's right. So any of you who are out there listening to us or watching us right now, I know that's part of my list. I wrote an article that came out today on Fans First on that, so please check that out. So let's just final thoughts here on this evening. It is a Thursday night. We're early parts of June, and obviously everybody in town in Cleveland wants to talk about this quarterback competition. Why Not Kenny Pickett is the title of Steve's upcoming article, so check that out. Steve, what do you think? Final thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, I often wonder whatever happened to Ben Gay. But by the way, Sam, that was a phenom, a preseason star who was their star running back a long time ago.
Yes.
For briefly star running back. But anyway, I'm just I can't wait till mandatory minicamp starts next week. The temperature will be turned up a notch with all the veterans and all the rookies there. Everybody is still talking about the pace. Greg Newsome had a great interview on the radio this week where he said that last year it was like a country club setting, and he's really happy that the pace has intensified, and he hopes it carries over into training camp. I've heard it's going to.
That's great.
Which is great. And and the breaking news of the day, the Steelers have found their quarterback. Some young kid out of California named Aaron Rodgers.
I thought of you when I saw that today. Ooh, I'm so scared.
He got tired of whispering to himself and eating tree bark, according to Terry Bradshaw.
I'm not, we're going to have to face him twice a year. No, not really. He'll be injured or something will happen. I'm not really,
How many games did he win with the Jets last year? Was it 5? 5?
I'm not too worried. I kind of knew that was going to be, we all kind of talked about it here. We knew that was kind of coming down eventually. I know the folks at Fans First and the Steeler group has talked about that, but it should be, what does he say here? Drafted the next Big Ben in Cleveland. Oh, I don't know about that rule. I don't know if we can talk about that.
I don't think that's correct.
No. Sam,
if Will Howard is starting for the Steelers, they're going to lose a lot because he is no way ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Are you scared?
I applaud his 4-game playoff run, but that don't equate to starting in the NFL. Sorry.
No. And he played 4 years at Kansas State, which I watched him play quite a bit. And all my Kansas State faithful fans and friends, they were not sad to see Will Howard go. They liked him, but obviously he benefited from having an outstanding wide receiver core at Ohio State. So, Sam, your thoughts about Aaron Rodgers and anything else before we leave tonight?
Well, I mean, the Steelers won't make it past the wild card regardless of if they win or not. They seem to be very consistent at losing in that game. But, I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers, who knows? Maybe he needs to go sit in a cave and smoke mushrooms again. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Or whatever you do with mushrooms. To be honest, I have no idea. But like, I mean, I think
No, save that for later.
I'll just look at myself. But I mean, I think the Steelers are weird. I think they do have the capabilities in certain aspects to be a good team. I just don't know what's with them and why they can't put it together, because they've had years where I think they've been good. There's just always something. So I don't know what they're going to do this year, because I do not think Aaron Rodgers is a very good quarterback anymore. I think they're going to win like 7 or 8 games maybe. But
Wow.
I mean, it's just or if Will Howard starts, right, I don't think that he's going to do very well either. And so, I mean, it's sometimes you have to lose with your rookie quarterback for him to start learning and do well. I mean, you only have 18, 17 chances to actually put yourself into a real game time situation. So I think this is going to be kind of a rebuilding year or two for the Steelers.
So you say that, and I guess my thought here at the end is, like, it's going to be rebuilding for Pittsburgh. It seems like it's going to be a real rebuilding here for Cleveland. So does that mean that Baltimore and Cincinnati are the front runners? But Cincinnati seems like a basket case.
Cincinnati is just dysfunctional right now.
Yes. So does that mean? Does that mean then that Baltimore is the runaway favorite going into this season?
They should be. I mean, look who their quarterback is. I mean, Joe Burrow couldn't get the Bengals into the playoffs last year, did he? No. And by the way, Raul, yes, I did watch Joe Flacco play last year. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, home of the AFC South. So those are the majority of the games
I'm getting a feeling that.
And I agree with Raul. Joe Flacco looked terrible with Indianapolis. Terrible. And I did not want them to sign him, because you can't go back and relive that magic. So
I'm getting a feeling, though, that Raul's not a big Browns fan.
Oh, well. I have an open mind when it comes to the quarterbacks. Whoever gets the job and gets W's, I support. Oh, you're working in Nashville right now.
Well, maybe you guys can get together, Raul.
Yeah.
Or meet downtown wherever they.
No. I live in Nashville. I don't go downtown. No.
Oh, all right, Sam. Tell us a little bit of what's coming up. Do you have a Browns breakdown show coming up here?
Saturday, yeah, okay, maybe not Saturday, because we're gonna be really busy Saturday. I might be able to fit it in Sunday though. So
don't do it
Saturday or Sunday.
I'm up at the Guardians game, so I will not be available. So.
That's all right. I'll forget to text you anyway, and you'll get.
Yeah, you always forget to text
Tuesday morning. Like, yo, man, I recorded a podcast 3 days ago. You want to publish it?
So we're going up to see the Guardians play the Astros.
Oh, the cheating Astros.
Are the Astros any good this year?
I don't know.
I mean, I think they're leading the division right now, but it's like the division's so mid. Everyone's like 5 games back right now. You could be like 13 games below 500, and you're still in like 6 games back. But the Rangers you could literally have no pitcher and just throwing like 2-mile-an-hour lobs, and the Rangers won't be able to hit them.
Wow.
Yeah, they stink at hitting.
Hey, what happened to Vanderbilt
awful.
Baseball?
Tim Corbin, their head coach, needs to hit the transfer portal and get some hitters. He's been concentrating on pitchers, and yes, their reliever is up for Stopper of the Year, College Stopper of the Year finalist. They need hitters. I mean, they had one 300 hitter, and in the SEC, you got to have a lot of hitters that are hitting over 300. But
well, they've got college.
They have a lot of guys who are going to take part in the Cape Cod League, so that's good.
Right, great league. If you ever get a chance, if you travel or do anything in the summers, they have a great league out there. Check that out sometime. But hey, everybody, thanks for again watching our show right now here on YouTube and the X and Facebook. we really, again, if you could please, I implore you to go over to YouTube, subscribe to us there, but also go to Spotify or go to Apple and just click that follow or subscribe button, and you'll never miss a show. We get sponsored by Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Check out our link there at the top of our X page. We love the fact that you could buy yourself some coffee. 15% of that comes back to us here at the network. So Raul, thank you for supporting us. And I'm sorry that you live in Nashville with Steve, but
no, he's working in Nashville.
Oh, he's working. Okay. Are you a country singer, Raul? Are you?
Everybody's a country.
Everybody's
singer.
A country singer.
Go to a restaurant.
What do you?
Why'd you move to Nashville? I wanted to make it big in the music industry. Here's our specials for tonight.
Sam, go to bed earlier tonight, okay? No staying up past 1 or 2 in the morning.
Up. My parents might be listening. I don't need them to know.
Are you do you play video games? Do you do the video game thing?
I don't play that late. No,
what do you do? Fortnite? What do you got going on? What do you?
It's not Fortnite. No, I race F1 cars and I play. I like the F1 and I play Madden and college football every once in a while. I kind of like that, but right now it's been F1, Minecraft, and the occasional shooter here and there.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Awesome.
I'll have a podcast Sunday.
Okay, very good. Steve, I'll be coming back to town, so it might be get up a little late there for posting, but I'll get it out there to everybody.
Don't stay up too late, John.
Browns Blitz later on, I believe tonight. I don't know if Rob is on vacation or not. Did anybody see anything on social media? I can't remember if.
Yes, he showed a picture of Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, so the Gulf of, okay. Oh, good. It's still called the Gulf of Mexico.
When did it not be called the Gulf of Mexico?
All right. So we've got that. We've got Ethan Greenberg did a great number of shows with his colleagues. Heather earlier, and Sherry's coming up with the Browns, Burning River Browns talk with Lou Marconi tomorrow night. So check them out. Heather and Ethan, thank you so much for the best doggone podcast in the land. I think I said it right. Going nuclear as well. Ethan did. So thank you. Jarrell, I did hear from Jarrell Flint. Jarrell will be coming out with a show shortly, Dog Food Radio. So tune into his show next. He's putting together some really good analysis of just some things that he's been working on for the Browns and data. And Joel Cade, who's back in the picture with What the Elf Was That? He'll be coming out with another show shortly. So we love having Joel back in the mix. Thanks for tuning in to us here on the Fanatical Elfz Network and Fans First Sports. Take care, everybody. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
See you next Thursday. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Here we go. No.
Come on, hit the post, John.
I'm trying.
Well,
what happened? Oh, no, I don't want to do that. No, we're not a bunch of wild and crazy Browns fans, I promise.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not doing this again. No, wait, okay, wait, now. Let's try it now. Okay, see ya.